Hello, Commander, and welcome back to the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, and as usual, I'm joined by...
I'm Commander Stephen Atronach, and thank you for joining us today. So, have you been reading a lot about INRA?
Yeah, this is a lot of information being spread by numerous outlets. I noticed a lot of mystery about the old INRA bases.
Yeah, I think it's good we get the meteor section out of the way first. I mean, there's a lot of controversy regarding how they did their testing on all these different for their bioweapon that they created against the Thargoids when they came last time.
Right, yeah.
I find it really interesting that this is kind of just like the first we're really hearing of it again. I mean, it's been around for like 200 years now. Yeah. And it's been sitting there, and no one's like gone and taken a look at it, and all of a sudden there's Thargoids back. So of course they want to find it and like figure out how this bioweapon worked.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem kind of strange that after most of these facilities were abandoned, like no one decided just to stop in and maybe investigate.
Yeah, and this is like the first we're finding out that they tested on like living Thargoid specimens.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, you know, I get it. Like it's... Some people are shouting out, you know, it's horrible to test on living specimens, and at the same time, a lot of people are going, well, we had to get rid of the Thargoids. They were, you know, killing all of us, and it's definitely a tough line. And I think right now, people are more willing to jump on the, you know, how dare you test on living specimens bandwagon. But I'm wondering how well that viewpoint will hold up as we get more and more Thargoids coming farther and farther into the bubble.
Because what I'm thinking is, of course, Thargoids are here, most definitely. We know that for a fact now. But we're also kind of missing that context from when the INRA bases were up and running. We were actually in a full-on war with the Thargoids at that time. So we were probably, I mean, I don't know, but we were probably pretty desperate at that point to try and just win, because looking at the Thargoids now, I wouldn't be surprised if we were just completely outclassed.
I mean, yeah, we get our ships shut down. I mean, thankfully we've been able to take some steps to prevent that from happening again. But it's like, you know, right now, all we're finding is little tiny skirmishes. Like, it's not like, you know, there's Thargoids popping in and pulling everybody out of space. There's not sections of space that are closed to the public because of dangerous, you know, conditions or anything like that. And there's no, I mean, yeah, we've had some big ships go down and there's been some death, but it's not like it's at the point to where everyone's afraid to go places.
Right.
It's not, we're not in hiding. And during the height of the Thargoid, you know, incursion back in the 3100s, it was a huge fear. Like, people were like, if they got interdicted at a hyperspace, they were just like, whoa, I'm probably going to die right now. Whereas now it's like, you know, let me just try to get out of here a little bit. And sometimes, you know, even fight back now that we have weapons that can do so. I've heard some rumors, actually, that there's been Thargoids fighting other Thargoids.
Oh, really? Well, that kind of makes us, well, at least in my opinion, it kind of proves that theory that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago now, that Thargoids have, like, different groups or maybe clans or something.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they do. They're apparently... There's been some rumors of, there's a theory going around anyway. We'll have to see how it develops before we give it some serious credence. But a theory going around right now that the Thargoids that we've been running into on the regular are running away from another group, and they're trying to basically just use us as a meat shield, essentially. Oh, try to put us in between them and the other Thargoids, in hopes that the other Thargoids will be distracted with us, or maybe they remember that bioorganic weapon that we had used against them before, and are hoping that we can save them, essentially. But again, it's just a theory. We don't really know what they're doing right now. They're pretty darn mysterious.
Yeah, so that means, if that theory is true, of course, that while these Thargoids that we're encountering right now may not just be outright attacking us, they aren't really here to help us either. If they're trying to use us as, you know, like you said, meat shields against other more aggressive Thargoids.
And it's not like they haven't, you know, gone through and, you know, shot at us
anyway. Yeah.
And collected, you know, escape pods and scanned people and shut their ships down and all sorts of stuff that doesn't really seem very helpful.
Yeah, and of course that whole thing with the attacks on the capital ships and like wiping out entire federal and imperial fleets.
I'm wondering if it's something related to the Guardian tech that we were, taking a look at previously. We haven't really touched too much upon that subject a lot recently. It's kind of faded. But I do know that some people tried to approach the Thargoids with the Guardian tech just to see how they reacted. A lot of brave commanders out there willing to do experiments and risk their lives and ships in order to try to figure out what's going on here. And they bring Guardian tech up to them, and the Thargoids would just freak out. Like, they could not handle being near it, or they would actually steal it. They would also steal the Thargoid probes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you find them, they'll pull those right out of your cargo.
Yeah, so that's a good point. I mean, I'm not very well versed with the Guardians. I mean, do we know if the Guardians are still out there, or?
Honestly, I don't think we have any idea. I haven't seen any evidence that they're still out there. Just these ruins. And who knows? They might even just be one of these Thargoid clans.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
or they could be something completely different. It's so much out there. Like it seems so weird that we've had these thousands of years exploring space and discovering all these things, and it's like there's so much we don't know out there. Even now, like even so recent in our history as of like 200 years ago, we were in war with these Thargoids, and yet now they've come back, and it's like we know nothing again.
I mean, we don't know. Maybe in that 200-year span, or maybe even before then, maybe the Thargoids and the Guardians, whether they're the same thing or two different things completely, maybe they had their own altercation with each other, and that's why they always act so hostile whenever we give them Guardian tech, or Guardian tech is around.
I mean, it's very possible. I mean, we until recently, they were always kind of like ghost stories, or we tease Honorous, like, worry about those Thargoids again. It's kind of like a little boogeyman. maybe we were their boogeyman,
right?
Yeah. I mean, we did unleash we got them to stop attacking us, and we were clearly outmatched, and yet we were able to unleash some sort of attack that got them to go away.
Right. Yeah.
Now, even though we have these, it's really cool just because we've got the Empire and the Alliance and the Federation all working together to, like, they've stopped fighting for a bit just to try to figure out this great Thargoid threat. But what sucks is we're still not completely really immune to conflict as a whole. It's like, where we don't have to worry about this, there's still conflict.
Yeah.
Out in Colonia, where it's been relatively peaceful recently, there's been a very sudden little war between a criminal faction kind of trying to take over Colonia as their own, and the Colonia Council trying to keep them down. It's like they see themselves have an opportunity to kind of set up their own area of space. I mean, if you could control Colonia, then give it another, 10, 15 years, you could easily become a major power.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate because, first of all, it is so far away, and it's hard to send support and all that. But, I mean, with it being so far away, it's kind of par for the course that someone's going to try and just completely dominate the resources out there for their own good without really heeding the, needs of other people and all that.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, interestingly enough, both factions have been receiving a lot of support. There seem to be some dedicated pirates and stuff out there who are totally down to just have another criminal power out there. As of the moment, it looks like the Colonia Council has kind of been able to keep them down for right now, but I mean, that kind of conflict stirring, it's just not great.
No.
Look for the future if it's already little wars going on in the tiniest little population. And I imagine a lot of commanders are actually probably making their way back to the bubble, because while of course there's the danger of the Thargoids here, the with Aegis and stuff keeping the Federation and the Empire at bay, it looks like the Alliance has actually started to make some headway, and they're creating their own fleet and actually having their own ships that are coming out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's some people that are reporting that Lakon has finally teamed up with the Alliance so that they can...
Which I'm not surprised as Lakon.
Yeah.
To be honest, I always kind of thought of Lakon as the Alliance ships anyway, even though they're not.
Yeah. I mean, core dynamics for the Federation and Gudamaya for the Imperials. I mean, I guess they could have had Zorgon Peterson, but...
I mean, it's like you've got... And it's funny, because, I mean, both of those, I mean, you've got core dynamics still makes the Eagle, which is not technically a Federation ship.
That's right. And
Gudamaya still works with them on the Imperial Eagle, which, even though it has Imperial in the name, you don't have to be in the Imperial Navy to own one.
Right.
And it's just the same thing, but you still look at them and you're like, yeah, that's a Federation ship. Or, that's an Imperial ship. But it's the same thing with Lakon, and you just look at them and go, yeah, these are the Alliance ships.
They're kind of the outsider ships, They all have that kind of squarish body with the open canopy, which is nice, but I mean, I don't know. Personally, I hope they just, if they are going to actually go through with this deal, hopefully the ships that they dream up will be a little bit better looking.
Oh, there's already some preliminary designs out, which, in my opinion, look pretty great.
Oh, okay.
And they're bringing back a classic. They're bringing back the crate.
Wow,
which is pretty exciting. That's going to be awesome.
I haven't heard that name for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see some really cool stuff coming out of the Alliance and out of Lakon sector, in the future. It's going to be really cool to see.
Yeah, that would be good then.
And I want to take a moment to just step away from all this conflict, because a lot of us are losing friends and family members to this conflict, and it's tough for everybody. I don't know if you were aware, but the labor union of Karuk actually did a Remembrance week to try to just give everyone some time to kind of get past some of these losses and work through them together. Resounding support, which is really cool to see that even though we have all this stuff going on, the galaxy can still come together to just kind of support each other. Because everyone knows loss. I mean, whether they want to or not, everyone kind of understands that. It's tough.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's good to hear that even with so much adversity, we can still come together and actually respect everyone that's lost their lives fighting for, well, at this point, humanity. But, even in just, previous conflicts between the Federation and the Empire, I mean, or even just, maybe small independent groups, it's good to hear that some people are actually willing to take some time out of whatever they're doing and, respect those people. Well, I do think it's about time that we take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a couple minutes, Commander.
This is Commander Winston P-Head. I always serve my guests Indie Bourbon when entertaining. It's smooth and sophisticated. A bit like me. I wouldn't serve my guests anything else. If you want to impress at your next soiree, then Indie Bourbon is your best choice. This rare, delicious drink also has restorative effects, but it's not just for entertaining. I drink it morning, noon and night. Get your Indie Bourbon from Mansfield Orbital at Epsilon Indy and tell them P-Head sent you. Bottoms up.
I am a pilot, a lone wolf in this galaxy. No system to call my own. I survived the railgun shot to the chest when I was 10 years old. I interdict without warning to claim you. When I emerge from the darkness, I am the light, and my fragrance is solar flare. Bang, and the lady is yours.
Hello, Commander, and welcome back to the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. Hope you enjoyed those quick messages from our sponsors.
So, guess what?
What's that?
It's Halloween. Well, it's almost Halloween.
Almost, yeah.
At least when we're doing this, it's almost Halloween.
Yeah. We'll see when this goes up.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, like way back, like a long time ago, there was this thing called Halloween on Earth, like before we were even, a space-faring civilization. And it was pretty cool. You got to dress up like monsters, or Thargoids, I guess, and walk around and try to steal people's food. It's pretty cool. At least I think that's how it went.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Something like that.
Yeah. So apparently in LHS 2094, they're going to throw a big Halloween party.
Oh, that's cool.
It's going to be really cool. Yeah, they're going to have like apple bobbing and some trick-or-treating and just a big party. And if you want to help out with that, they're looking for people to bring them materials for the party, which I'm assuming is going to be a lot of liquor.
Probably.
A lot of beer.
Yeah.
A lot of wine. Pretty much whenever someone's asking you to help liberate their community, the same materials, you can just take them to LHS 2094 and get some money for it, which is nice. And it'll be really cool. We can have a big Halloween party. I'm going to be there, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to have to fly out there. That'll be fun.
I'm going to have to dress up. What are you going to dress up as?
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Maybe we can pick up... Maybe I'll see if I can find one of those like anarchy systems that'll have that the pirate like ship fittings for my ship.
Oh,
just come in
yeah.
and pretend to be a pirate.
Yeah. Oh,
and
you know what
watch
I
out.
should do? I got it. I'll well, as you know, I have a Federal Corvette, which means
Oh yeah, you never fail to tell me about it.
Well, you know what that means, though. That means I had to do some work for the Federation in order to, get it.
Did you now?
So, what I'm thinking is, even though I usually roll around in a very brightly colored Corvette, I think I'm going to strip it back, remove the paint job, and just go back to the base colors, and then get an official-looking ship tag, and get my old Federation uniform out, and then I can impersonate the Federation.
Yeah, impersonating an officer, that's the greatest way. I mean, a lot of people do that on Halloween.
I mean, well, I
So-
guess it's not even impersonating, because I am a Rear Admiral, so...
That's true. Well, here, let me help you out though. Like even better, could just get my ship, and I'll just take my guns, and I'll just split a big hole right down the middle of your ship, and then you can pretend you're a Farragut.
Yeah, that might work. I don't know. It might be kind of small, but...
Like a little Farragut.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
You're pretending to be a Farragut.
Right.
You're not actually a Farragut. You like to think you are, but no. No, I think I'll get some of the paint for the squadron paint that the station security uses, and I'll just fly around and scan people as they come into the station.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun. I'm sure they'll be happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves a good scanning.
If you guys ever run out into Felix in the middle of space, be sure to ask him about the time he would just randomly scan some poor person trying to carry passengers everywhere.
Oh, man. I felt so bad for that.
His livelihood was just ruined in that moment.
Oh, man.
It'll be pretty exciting for Halloween, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think it will be a lot of fun.
Definitely a good thing to do. With all this Thargoid stuff going on, it's nice to have something to distract from it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can come dressed as a Thargoid. We can get like a couple ships together. Let's get a bunch of Sidewinders together and point them like middle in.
Oh,
just kind of
right.
glue the ends, and they'd be an octagon.
Yeah.
And we'd have a Thargoid ship right there. We can just roll up as a Thargoid, paint them all green and gray.
And then just get those weapon color modifications, turn all of our weapons yellow and red, and then we can have that big yellow beam that they shoot, and also the little red multi-cannon-like thing that they have.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Halloween, though, since we're still talking about it, one other a tradition during Halloween was to take these gourds or pumpkins and carve faces into them, make them look scary. And interestingly enough, a new fungus was recently discovered, like an extraterrestrial fungus out in HIP 18077, and they look a lot like the pumpkins.
They really do.
Were used, and they're bigger.
Yeah, well,
a lot bigger. But if anyone wants to get out some beam lasers and try to carve them into some faces, and go ahead and you can definitely post up some jack-o'-lantern faces in the Radio Sidewinder lounge. That would be really cool. You can see some of these. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go carve a face into one of these things. You need something small with like one beam laser or a mining laser. Oh yeah, there you go. Or I mean, if you're going that far, you might as well get a mining lance from Torval herself. Yeah, because, I don't want to dress like an old crazy lady.
Hey, I mean, if you want to, by all means. No one's forcing you, but...
Well, it'll be really nice to have Halloween to distract us from the Thargoid thing, but it's also really good that, not just about Aegis, but like the major powers are really taking action to make sure that pilots around are safe. They've actually recently stated that they're going to make it so that factions and groups can actually purchase their own like carrier ships, so they can have like several ships with them to like launch from these carrier ships. They're going to release some like blueprints for them soon. Because I'm sure there's a lot of regulation that has to go on with these. You can't just like give the public warships and capital ships and stuff. But we're assuming they're going to be somewhat like maybe about half a capital ship in size, just enough to carry a few wings, so we can stay in a group and not worry too much about being bombarded by Thargoids. Will have a lot of firepower available to us, and I'm certain Radio Sidewinder's going to get one.
Oh, we're definitely going to have to get at least one, if not more.
See if we can have Arbitration sell his gold Corvette for it.
Do you think that they would take that trade?
It's a gold Corvette.
I know, that's a lot of gold. That's a lot of gold.
It's tons and tons of gold.
Yeah. If you already had issues jumping with a Federal Corvette, just try Arb's Corvette.
Next thing you need is a lead Corvette.
Yeah.
They make them in tungsten.
Yeah, but I think that would be really good because we already have, besides Radio Sidewinder, we already have many commander groups which are very organized without these ships, and just to think what they can do with full wings and fleets at their disposal will be very interesting. I think it will make things run a lot more smoothly for the very big organizations like Dell's Armada or even SDC, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, we got like the Prismatic Imperium. They're probably gonna have a few.
Yeah, yep.
A 13th Legion for sure.
Oh yeah,
but it'll be really cool. And I hear it's gonna that our computers will be able to handle communications like more, FTL instant communications.
Okay.
With more than just 4 ships or more than just 3 other ships as it has been so far. I understand the difficulty in getting like instant, like faster than light speed communications between ships, like anywhere in the galaxy, and how hard that must be to tether those.
Yeah.
And that makes sense that you can only have so many. But I've heard that they're going to put some work into that, and we're going to be able to have more. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're streamlining the way the communications work, and then we can have whole armies to take out Thargoids or other player groups. This might be a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about that.
Well, I mean, I don't think we personally have anything to worry about. We've been, for the most part, everyone likes Radio Sidewinder, except for that one little snafu that we got in earlier, but, you know.
I mean, we won.
Yeah, we're all fine. So
people try to take us out, and they can't.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, they don't know, but, of course, SDC is on our side, so...
Which was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they're not going out of their way to, like, hurt people. They're just, they usually have a reason behind what they're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes they don't, but, I mean,
Hey, I mean, we've met Harry Potter. He was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, would he have been as nice if we didn't have a talk show? I don't know, but...
Talk show helps.
Yeah. Yeah. So all we're saying is, if you need to escape SDC, just start up a talk show, and
it's got to be a good talk show. I mean, we have the best talk show.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just be a talk show,
right?
And expect it. Yeah.
You got to be good at your job, like us. I mean, we've been doing this for a little over a year now, so
we've got some practice.
Yeah, we know what we're doing now, I'd say. All right, well, that's all the time we have this week, Commander. Be sure to check out the Pilot's Lounge and just converse with the other commanders. A lot of people who need help can get it in the Pilot's Lounge. There's a lot of experienced commanders in there, like Commander Jonas or Arbitration or Black Bart, even sometimes on the rare occasion. I don't know. I kind of doubt those claims, but
and sometimes you'll, it's not always going to be crowded. Sometimes Jonas is just off in Jonas land.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Usually there's somewhere there to help you out, and if you don't see anybody like ready to talk, you can type. There's a text chat for you as well. And of course, you can always just come visit us personally at Taco. Come out and get yourself a taco.
Yeah, they're very good.
Tastiest tacos in the galaxy.
Yep.
I haven't had many out of the galaxy tacos, but they better be something else if they're going to be better than the taco tacos. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So this is Steven Atronach signing off.
And I'm Commander Felix Jefferson signing off. Fly safe, Commander.